understandable as possible in terms of get to general public. There's also going to be quarterly newsletters updating the public going to them. There'll be door-to-door campaigns, and I'm all planning to do a neighborhood kickoff event. It's not going to work at the end of the day. Something really show the cities in this area, and we're going to commit resources over them. Other elements such as neighborhood signage, noting program area, the mop that could look like some pole banners, displaying program logo and everything. Also, signs to be placed within the surplus property to note how people can access the program, what number to call, how to involve. Also, there'll be recommendations potential historic district or nominate individual properties to the National Register of Historic Places. And it could be utilized through our current Historic Commission part, as well as members of our planning department, and also community members trying to work on that project together. Again, also expand the incentives again. The general amount also working with developers trying to expand menu complete as well. None of the pictures of the elements of the plan, but one of the primary reasons we're here tonight to get feedback on is also how URCDA can be involved. Previously, in 2019, you might know, the Planning Commission and URCDA were bind together. One of the main reasons of this was closing of the new plan and decrease some development with the area, and so the pause sentence. From this, hopefully, we can account with Southside Housing Plan to see an increase in development, especially among vacant property. Through our community engagement process, the main things we are regarding housing are people see improvements to existing homes, and they want to see redevelopment and repurposing of vacant lots in Southside. So, we like to utilize URCDA or directly to help with this transition property to better support the revitalization program, such as our surplus property program and initial incentives themselves. Process for this will be done through repealing the 1919 ordinance that we have listed here, 19-12-608, which combined the two cities, and then reestablish URCDA outside as its own separate entity. This would all URCDA have its own separate meeting date time for the Planning Commission. Now, as a whole, very quick, but it's at this point we'd like to talk with you all and get your initial feedback. And this is just the big picture of the plan. We're going to take your feedback and reincorporate it out before we would meet again. To close my presentation, I'd like to have more conversation now.
You want us to give some ideas, or do we get going about it, or you want all night, or?
You want to give it all night? Not at all. Whatever it comes out. Now, will that take?
We
know where we
visit this again, but something tonight would be good. I'll start off. This is probably a number question. Of the 104 vacant lots, how many is the week does the city control?
We don't have that exact number in new area. But when it comes to original program area, we have maybe 3 left currently in surplus property.
In the total, the 400 we control less than others.
Okay. I was just thinking of an inventory standpoint compared back to the other mountain avenue in the low town, control quite a bit of inventory. Make it happen.
We're working toward that. We have purchasing, but we're trying to gain inventory. It's just slow.
Sure, I understand.
It's slow.
Said on, you said, I'm sorry, on the first part, the Raleigh Trophy.
Okay, that's all that's left. They when they first started the program, probably 3 years ago, would dare say that they had close to 30.
Mm-hmm.
And so some developers have proposed and just haven't brought the product. They have built it within a certain period of time. And some of it time constraints beginning to get close to tight on. But most of them have 2 to 2 years to develop and transfer to them. We have some that I can think of right off the top of my head that will probably be around this year.
They're probably waiting to see what the ends up playing.
Right.
We had 30 parcels to develop. Says, I'll take that, I'll develop in 2 years.
Not all those have gone to true developers. 3 have gone to community garden. There are things like that come on that they you asked for. So they're not all in. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Compared to other programs, I recall 8 or 9 years ago when URCDA looked at that area of Apollo next to me, there weren't that many city things that could be done as far as things, curb and gutters, sidewalks.
Right, a lot has done.
Okay. Because it is a major improvement that we do this type thing.
I believe last school year, there was 400,000 in infrastructure on the south side. Some of that has been happening all along. It's just not been
Good.
we haven't talked about it very much. But I had a conversation with Commissioner Henderson earlier last week and said our part people really don't care about that because they can't see. They want to experience things that they can see, which is true until you walk on it or until you're having to utilize it, and then that's you're thankful you had it. But
Yes.
I understood.
Yes. And then the other note I had are other meetings such as road enforcement or things like that be addressed to help the quality of this group.
Yes, I live in the neighborhood watch is in the area. I also believe that we're working on it. We are, but I don't have an answer to where it's going. We're working towards. There's ways that they take the rates. Just to increase that presence and not be such a scary presence. Let people know that they're hardship community. That's one of the reasons that we're on May 30th looking for community events. We're looking to go with all the pastors, host luncheon, just talk through what we would like to see happen in the neighborhood and how we can partner. There are code enforcement, absolutely. We've been doing a lot of vacation. They're having a community meeting actually out by all tonight. We had the Young 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. So definitely a part of that, but they're going to work with us in doing several educational opportunities. There's also, I don't know if you're familiar with AG Wilkie. AG is a program called, Protect Home, I believe, and helps people get their finances in order so they be in a position to purchase a home or first-time home buyer. A lot of people don't understand what it takes to be able to do that. She's agreed to have quarterly meetings in the neighborhoods to help support homeowners. AG.
I mentioned the admin to you a couple of weeks ago about you've got a lot of property for people that look, $300 property next to me, so I can have, I'll mow it, I'll put a garden there. And I was guilty of that. I was sure he said, well, let's do that. It'll get off our rolls. So you would have it back. So I was so Mr. Barry owns his property right here, his property here. He bought the $300 10 years ago. And he would like to fix his house up, but he didn't have any money. So say, Ben Barry, spent $100 10 years ago. We'll give you a number, $10,000. We'll give it to you. But $10, you have to send it on pick up your house store, and then you give this property to the city, and you send it to somebody else. And I'm having a pig tree with me. And I mean, that just needs to be a way to. I mean, we believe this pretty. I feel bad about it. I was an idiot. I thought this years ago. So I don't know what to give money to somebody with the idea that you can give you some real profit on your $300 investment, whatever it was. It may not be much. I think I proved it for $5. If you take that money and put it on your house.
There are ways.
Just an idea.
There are ways that we work that. There's a little trick thing called fair market value that comes into play. We have purchased things from people in the past. Typically, they just get the price and average it. And there are ways.
Yeah,
to
just give us the-
work it
yeah,
out.
just
But
the-
there are ways. I don't want everybody calling the bar saying.
No,
$300.
No, I just as an example.
Yes,
Maybe not.
but the point is, there are ways that we work through them, yes. And then we've had lots of people who, over the last 4 years, have purchased property on the side as speculative and have sat on it. I think that probably when we expand the incentives, we'll hopefully see them back come fruition.
So speaking in line with he's talking identity, what's the vision for it? Are we going to limit people on these lots to have density, or are we going to make people in 3 lots and we got lines to build bigger home? What is it? I'm eager to hear your thoughts.
Look at it. At the end of the day, the commission is looking for city because there's a house crisis. We all know that. KC has given the number, and they're looking for density. I'm not going to say they would not encourage abolish lot lines, but some of the lines there, some of the lots are very small. They're very difficult to build on. So I feel sure we may be back to you with some of that. But for the most part, they are looking for density.
The new house expansion would cater to the existing lots, which are small, because we have house plans that are able for departments through service property, but simply won't fit on a side lot in most part.
One of the things we hear a lot, just kind of out of the community, that people are looking for smaller homes to downsize. You know, they may be aging, and those baby boomers are getting to a place they don't have a lot to take care of. They just want a home that they can have a bedroom, bath. We're seeing that. We're seeing a lot of people who are looking for starter homes as well. So I think that and they have a very difficult time finding when people are in. They don't want to.
I've heard as well with in Colorado with salad particularly, there's not a lot of food, desert, gas. There's nothing there when they get there. So you have to drive so far. If you don't have it, maybe not have the time to get it.
I'm going to pick over to Josh for a minute and talk about his favorite thing, cornerstone ordinance, which we'll see in the plan as well. I'll talk about that for a few minutes.
Sure, thank you. So one of the big things in the planning world today from coast to coast is corner store, bringing those back to life. They was the heartbeat of the neighborhood one time, if you will. The last edition of the APA newsletter actually pointed out Louisville as a example of what's going coast to coast from map all their corner stores and in the process of bringing back life the ordinance. Even though it may be in a residential zone, there's performance standards that can be adopted via ordinance where a store can go back into operation for either retail, maybe a restaurant, maybe an office, maybe a daycare, whatever the case may be. But that is so that the neighborhood, exactly like you said, Mr. Berry, doesn't have to go 8 blocks, 14 blocks, a store. They can walk up 2 or 3 blocks and what they need. What's going to be your daily staples, your bread, your eggs, your whatever the case may be, but it's what you need to get through the week. So we do have a corner store ordinance. It adheres to the 4 wall at some point. That will most likely be whenever we get recommendations from Gary Mitchell, who did our comprehensive plan. What he's working on right now is bringing recommendations to both city and county planning department to how we bring our zoning ordinances in line with the comprehensive plan. And probably get that hopefully next month. And then after that, we'll take a look at it, maybe prioritize what we get, and then bring a few estimates at a time to this body. I certainly hope the corner stores is one of those.
I just saw a slide. I'm transferring back to you, our CDA cabinet on the board. I'm curious what the thinking is of that. And the reason why I say, I remember one half of the URCDA board was this board, and they just kind of shared. And we merged, so now we're going back to unmerged. I don't understand. I'd like to understand.
So
when I approached the question of separating the URCDA board, the separate board, why? And the answer was, there's a board coming to the URCDA board. At this moment, we have overlap of these two boards. I was back in 2019, when there wasn't as much work, so it made sense. But what's coming, it looks like we better have a separate board over here. It's so locus in URCDA, will be so locus in Planning Commission. You're correct, in the past, I've spent overlap between the two. And of course, up to the appointments by the Medical Committee. So the short answer is a lot more coming.
Are there more meetings? That's where actually look at just having more meetings.
So that would be dependent upon how the board is populated. So it's possible that you would have new members of our city board who do not sit on the commission. And so in that case, you would not have more meetings.
Right.
You might have board meetings, they'll appeal that. But at least in the works, I couldn't think of exactly who gets something to what.
Yeah. I mean, the value of having one is like we were talking earlier, just doing myself as having department and have pretty good history of how things articulated through since 2008 or so. And if you have that 5 new percent, almost kind of, how you don't have that.
The mayor of the commission have to have a good discussion process regarding corporate history, remember, and please one or two. But that's beyond pay grade.
Gotcha.
Questions? Can you agree with any questions?
Sure I do, absolutely. So, I'm just gonna ask an obvious question, but why are we separating, why can't we do this outside as a whole?
I can't do
Why
it
can't we
outside
do-
as well.
And I kinda got a hold on it.
You think correct. Right? You ever shot a shot?
I understand.
Where I'm headed, it's Skinner and trying to make,
Okay,
it's trying to do a Skinner.
okay. So my thought process on this is, we're stopping at Caldwell.
For the first phase.
We're stopping at Caldwell. I mean,
Somewhere.
stop.
You got it straight.
You can stop somewhere, but you could just go 4 blocks and get to Hitchcock Park.
And it's phase 2.
Doesn't phase two. That might be 10 years down the road.
It could be.
Could be. My point is, you use your Fountain Avenue and your Lower Town. Or you had your sense, so if you wanted to be in Lower Town, Fountain Avenue, you're in Sense Hitch. You might be, want to be on the south side, but you're placed in your little group here, so your buddy over here is in his $27,000 for his house over here, and I'm across the street. Yes, that's kind of what I'm kind of, it's, that's what I'm kind of looking at. Are you going to, it's going to put a health code on, could be going on in the blocks.
Or is there amendment for cherry pick source speed in this in case it need to be?
I mean, that's what I'm kind of getting at, is you got your legal law, that bone, that people might do, but they might be like, oh, I might want to do this. It's just be property just sitting there.
One of the interesting things that you may speak to Chairman Hughes about you different 9 to 5. One of the interesting feedback that we had from bankers is the concern that if we were to spread it out so far, that the development will not take off, that they're going to be where they can see other development taking place. They would be within eyesight or line of sight of what changed in the neighborhood. The other thought process was their concern about the loan value ratio. They're concerned about right now, it had to comp in that area. It would be very difficult to do. And if you stay within that area without creating density, it would take much longer and very difficult to do. One of the things we've talked about with gap filling, because it is a defined area, such a small area, that we'll be able to offer incentives to close that gap. But our guess is when the first people come in and they assume the risk, and that's exactly what they'll be doing. But hypothetically, let's just say that Commissioner Rhodes over wants to build a house and he's going to build a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house. He's going to need $250,000 out of it. Coming up date, it may only raise $100,000. So how are we going to close the gap for first-time homeowner? Because it doesn't raise out. We're not going to be able to borrow money. Most people are in this day time are looking to borrow money. So one of the things that we're proposing is to close that gap with $50,000 as forgive a loan. We'll come in, and if that buyer is credit worthy, we'll come in, get a second mortgage, we're in partnership with the lending institution, and every year they're in the house, a percentage of it will forgive. If they sell it 5 years, then they may have to pay half back, hypothetically, the way it work. But that would create density in that smaller footprint.
Makes sense.
I
I hear what you're saying.
think exactly. I think he is doing so extent that the other has other rehabs and to get real clean, split out. It's
It's a loop. Okay.
and that's no greater. I know that. Not at all.
I know the hard digger.
Yeah.
Good question though, and I should.
Part of the process, I'm just talking about comps. Going farther for comps than the normal.
Well, it's only out in the avenue, really, isn't it?
It's exactly what
And
happened.
that was kind of playbook.
In the very beginning, they, to get anybody even in high there, had to do buybacks. And under $60,000 per property and eat in the very beginning before it did that lost it. But it took it for takeoff.
And of course, along in the worst recession since the Depression. But other than that, timing didn't help.
Any other questions? Have I answered everybody's question?
Okay, next one. We talked about, Palmer said there'd be a possible, I'm using the term possible, is that possible as hell? Possible, all right, 90% possible. Or are you talking about that on maybe next time on the whatever meeting? You said there was a possible grade trade through
I was at
Greenway.
this meeting 2 weeks ago. It was canceled. We haven't been able to fully discuss the final draft of the plan with the public. No, that'd be happening, but a bit of context for that, the city has a technical assistance grant in the National Park Service to design an expansion of Greenway Trail, taking this trail from where it currently is in downtown Paducah by the convention center, taking it all the way to the south side. We have a couple different options of where that actual path is going to lead, maybe on a couple different streets. But again, this is just the design portion. We'll be taking that out to public soon. Unfortunately, the previous public meeting was canceled because of weather. But a date will be with that. And afterwards, that is proposed to the city commission for adoption.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Okay.
So, and then
Well, I
we
got
have
another-
Bill, right? So, that's a long-term object.
Could you get excited if I have to, and for I'm not gonna have.
I know I have a lot tonight, but it's a very technical document, many section chapters, a little more in depth in terms of explaining more high level than we'll go back in terms of what the actual program areas look like. I can break the document and I'll come for you soon. One of the other bigger steps that needs to be taken for this, and it's really adopted at the very end of the day, going to be a public hearing. So we're going to promote this document in advance to every rest within the program area. So everybody's going to get the notification, the public hearings will be held, and they can engage with that document in advance, they can get questions ready. Because we want this to be as transparent, clear, understandable as possible. But hopefully, we've kind of determined there's turning when it comes to planning out tonight. But it won't be there's time that it comes with you all. So
That time here would probably through discussion and probably in May,
Insane.
June, something.
as those turn. So and after it's finished with you all, it has to go to city commission as well.
There is a question about the time of the public hearing. It will be your normal meeting date after the 8th date. But one of the things the attorney had brought up that we want to make sure we have a public hearing before it's given to you all to adopt, because we need to make a judgment based on what we hear that we have time to do that. June 2nd would typically be the time that we would get to you to adopt.
Oh, okay.
So there may be flux, we may have to have a special meeting somewhere in there.
That's what we are here to support.
I just like that.
I understand all to village side.
It is.
Well, if that's all, thank you all very much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Good job.
Good job.
Mr. Chairman, I have to remind everybody very quickly
Yes.
of the training on the 24th of April in Calvert City. Paul and I will both be presenting that day. We got roped into that. So we're going to talk about neighborhood revitalization, past, present, and future. So if you haven't signed up yet, and you can, please let Nancy know so that you can get signed up. As of right now, last I heard, is at least 65 people going from all over West Kentucky, and it's gotten so big, moved out of Calvert City Hall into their 6th. So there's going to be a lot of folks there. So just a reminder, please get with Nancy and like go.
Excellent. Any other questions, comments? Didn't want to once again. Well,
Thank you, sir.
well, with nothing else, our next meeting will be May the 1st, May the 5th, and at 6:13 we stand adjourned.